Most of us think our biggest problems come from out there, from the world. It's the constant pressure, the endless demands, just the sheer unpredictability of everything. We blame things like,
The crushing weight of our jobs and all our responsibilities, the absolute chaos of modern life, just pulling us in a million different directions at once. And of course, we blame other people, their expectations, their drama, their opinions.
But here's the thing. What if most of our suffering doesn't actually come from any of that? What if the real issue is a whole lot closer to home? That is the brutal but incredibly powerful idea behind Book 8 of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. And let me be clear, this part of the book isn't meant to make you feel all warm and fuzzy. Nope. It's here to discipline you. You should think of it like a training manual for building a rock-solid mind in a world that's constantly trying to knock you over. All right, so the first big idea from Book 8 is, well, it's a tough pill to swallow, and it's that most of us aren't really in control. We're more like puppets, and the world outside is just pulling all of our strings. This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of it. It's not the event, not the thing that happens, but the story we tell ourselves about it that causes most of our suffering. The raw facts of life are one thing, our internal drama about those facts is where almost all the pain comes from. I mean, think about it for a second. Does this sound at all familiar? If a little bit of praise sends you soaring, and a little criticism absolutely crushes you, if your sense of peace only exists when everything is going perfectly, then your inner life doesn't have a stable core. You're not free. You're just constantly reacting.
See, that's not peace. That's dependence. You've basically handed over the keys to your own happiness to things you have absolutely no control over. Book 8 is a challenge for us to take those keys back.
So, how do we actually do that? How do we reclaim that control? Well, Aurelius gives us this incredible metaphor. Your mind is either a fortress that you have to guard, or it's just a door wide open to anything.
And this contrast is everything. So many of us live with an open-door mind. A rude comment, a bad memory from years ago, a worry about the future. They just waltz right in and completely take over your day. The Stoic goal is a fortress. It's where you are the guard at the gate, and you get to decide what you give your attention to.
And this is where the whole idea becomes super practical. It's not about ignoring your thoughts, it's about inspecting them. So when some anxious thought shows up at the gate, first you just notice it, you identify it. Then you challenge it. You ask, hey, are you useful? Are you even true? Do you really deserve my time and energy right now? And then, finally, you make a conscious choice. You either let it in or you turn it away. That, right there, is what real mental discipline looks like in action.
And the stakes for this couldn't be higher. Because without that guard on duty, your mind isn't your own private space. It's like a chaotic public building. Any random mood or passing irritation can just move right in and live in your head rent-free. And when that's the case, true peace is pretty much impossible.
Okay, so this leads to another idea from Book 8 that honestly feels like it could have been written yesterday. And it's this: we make our own pain so much worse by adding all this unnecessary drama to it. We don't just experience something, we write a whole Hollywood screenplay around it.
Let's break this down. There's the event, the objective thing that actually happened. It's usually small, neutral, manageable. And then there's the story we tell ourselves about it. And that story is where we create a complete catastrophe. I mean, just look at these examples. The event: someone doesn't reply to your email. The story: they don't respect me. The event: you make a simple mistake. The story: I always ruin everything. A minor setback happens, and the story becomes my entire life is falling apart. See how that works? This is how we turn a tiny spark into a massive mental forest fire.
And this right here, this is one of the hardest truths to accept in all the Stoicism. So much of what we call suffering is really just the original small bit of pain plus a huge, heavy dose of our own dramatic imagination. Book 8 is basically yelling at us to stop feeding the drama. So, if the goal isn't to get rid of all pain, and it's not to just feel comfortable all the time, then what is the goal? This is where Book 8 really goes against so much of our modern thinking. The goal isn't comfort, it's character. Our entire world is constantly telling us to chase comfort, right? To avoid friction, to find the easiest path. But the Stoic goal is the total opposite. It's about building the kind of inner character that can meet life well, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not.
And this is the real test, isn't it? It's easy to be a good, calm, virtuous person when everything is going your way. But when things go wrong, when you're tired, when you're irritated, when you're disappointed, who shows up then? That person, that's your true character.
This completely redefines everything for us. Real freedom isn't some external thing where you get everything you ever wanted. No, true freedom is an internal state of stability. It's the ability to hold on to your calm, your dignity, your center, no matter what the world decides to throw at you.
And really, that's the ultimate question from this ancient guide to the mind. The big question isn't, how can I make the world change to make my life easier? The real question is, how can I build the inner strength to meet the world exactly as it is? And the most powerful part? Book 8 tells us that choice is entirely ours.